Are y'all ready? It's time. Woo! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. I am so excited to see everybody that's in here. And let me tell you, we are full house today. And I am so blessed and so excited to have you all in here. We're going to have a wonderful time on today. And we're going to have our Mother's Day episode today. So we're going to be celebrating some wonderful ladies today. And we're going to be talking about motherhood and all of the trimmings, everything that goes with it. But in the meantime, I want you to go ahead and like and share. Be sure you like and share the broadcast so that we'll have a great big audience today. We have special things happening today, and you don't want to miss it. I promise you. If you miss it, you'll be so unhappy. So we want you to be ready to enjoy this time with us. I want to give a shout out to everybody who is with us already. Be sure and drop your name in the comments thread and let us know where you're watching from. If it's your very first time watching Moments with Mama Sue, I'd like to know that too, because I always send something special to our first time viewers, just a little something from me to let you know that I'm glad that you've come along and joined Mama Sue's family. And then I also want you to be connected to me and be able to follow all of the things that I'm doing creatively. Of course, we want you to know that we have some things going on, and I need your support. I need you to roll along with me. I still have wonderful copies of my own children's book, Miss Annie from Way Down South. You can own it today via my website at www.sueroseberry.com. And then if you order it, you'll get audio files with me singing the song, and you can also download from my website a coloring book for the children so they can color to their heart's content. I'd love for them to have it, and I will sign every first edition copy. There are only a few more of the first edition print available, so go ahead and order yours today. And then on tomorrow, I'll be at the Southeast Senior Center. I'm there the first and third Tuesday of every month for a senior sing-along, and we do hymns and inspirational music. We always have a great time, and I always go live from there. so that we can share the love with seniors who are in other places that may not get an opportunity to come to the senior center. So we want you all to just tune in at Mama Sue Roseberry on Facebook, and it'll be tomorrow around 10:30 ish. That's when we usually go live on there. And then I will be doing an interview with Conversations with Blue Mile on tomorrow evening, and that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is the way you'll have to put it in on Facebook at Blue Mile with no spaces, Blue Mile Music Consultants LLC. Drop that in there at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and you will get an opportunity to hear me go live with these wonderful ladies, with Kalandra Gant and Daphne Hilton on their platform. And we'll just be talking about what we talking about and enjoy a wonderful conversation together. Then on Wednesday morning, if you're up early, join Derek Huggins in the morning on Wednesday, May the 4th. Now, this is not a gospel show that he has. It's commentary on what's going on in current affairs and all that good stuff. And I'm going to give him my opinion, my take on the news and current affairs. And that's at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook or YouTube. Derek Huggins in the morning on Wednesday. Y'all tune in. I'm not going to even tell you what to anticipate that I'm going to do, but it's going to be something that may be just a little bit unexpected. So you guys want to tune in and say, what in the world is Mama Sue talking about now? But I will be talking about something guaranteed. I'll be on there. And then on Thursday night on Clubhouse, that's the audio app on Clubhouse at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be a moderator for the Let Me Hear Your Song Headphones Clubhouse room, where we listen to great independent artist music, and you will enjoy that. So it's not just an iPhone app anymore. It started out that way with just iPhone users, but now anybody can use it. So if you have an Android phone, you can still get on there and see what's going on and chop it up with us. On Friday, I'll be in Fort Stockton, Texas, Fort Stockton, America. So I'll be there live and in person for the 14th annual senior celebration for Older Americans Month. Their theme is going to be Age My Way. And I thought, wow, this is really great that I get to do that because, you know, I made myself the self-appointed spokesperson for the vivacious elderly. So I'm really looking forward to that on Friday in Fort Stockton. That's from 10 until 1:30 p.m. at the large community hall in Rooney Park, Fort Stockton. On Saturday, it's a virtual event, Saturday morning, May the 7th, 2022 at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. There'll be a Zoom ladies' tea. This is hosted by Stephanie Carter. I'll be the guest psalmist, and the guest preacher will be Reverend Dr. Carolyn Ann Knight. So you go in and put that whole little blurb that you see there in your browser on Eventbrite, and you can get a free ticket, but they do have to have registration to be able to let you in for that because there's only a limited number of spaces available. But I'd sure love to see you at the tea, and we will enjoy that. That's in celebration of Mother's Day, which is coming up this weekend. And while we're doing that, I can tell you that a great gift for your moms would be my perpetual calendar, Thoughts from the Heart. That's daily thoughts and inspirational quotes from yours truly that the Lord has given me. And it's something that you'll be able to have a little bit of Mama Sue every single day of the year. And there's no year on it. So you can keep using it over and over and over and enjoy it. And then, of course, I'd love for you to follow me on all these social media platforms. I'm out here in these social media streets. Y'all don't leave me out here by myself. Come see about me. Please go and follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform you like to use, and connect with me and engage, because connecting with you is the best part of my day. Now then, that we got through with all of those announcements, let me tell you, I'm so excited, y'all, because we're celebrating mothers today. You know, we had the Mother's Day challenge, and I put it out there that I wanted people to send in tributes about their moms. And we would uh, specially celebrate these ladies and get to meet them and talk about motherhood with them. So I'm going to introduce them to you at this time. And we're going to be talking and chopping it up. First of all, it is Mayetta Nelson and her beautiful mom, Miss Irene Higgins. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good. And I'm so excited to have them on today. And then we also have Miss Tranisha Green from Chi-Town, and her beautiful mom, Miss Shirley Torrance. How are you all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Tranisha, you have to unmute yourself. Or I think you muted yourself back. There
Yes,
you
I
go.
did.
Okay, we're glad to have you all. And then I have the beautiful Miss Daka Jackson and her beautiful mom, Mrs. Dorothy Drones. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Woo, yes. It's working so far, y'all. It's working. And then I have the lovely Miss Lori Williams and her beautiful mom, Miss Aura Williams. How you doing, ladies?
Hello.
Good. And then we're going to add to the stream the lovely Angela. There, I can't see you, Angela. You're in the virtual background. There you go. You're kind of mixed in with your flowers in the virtual background. There she goes. Okay. Angela Love Jackson and her beautiful mom, Laverne Love. Ooh, let's give all of these ladies a hand.
Hello.
All made it. Woo, we made it through cyberspace.
All right.
And we got here. Well, let's just enjoy a little bit of conversation. First of all, I wanted you to know that your daughters nominated you all because they thought y'all was all that and a bag of chips. They think you're just absolutely wonderful. And I agreed. So we're going to start with you, Mayetta. Tell me one thing that you have learned from your mama.
I've learned to be a giver from my mom. Um, in any and every situation, circumstance, she's always giving. And she gives. It's not just monetary. Whether it's advice, whether it's the shirt off her back, whatever, in whatever way that she can help, she's always giving, and I appreciate that so much.
Ah, that is just so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Okay, Tranisha, tell me one thing that you have learned from your beautiful mom.
Um, I have learned. That's a tough one, but I've really learned that to say that I love the Lord and I won't take it back. My
Mm.
mom is. She represents the Lord. She's just a faithful witness, and I just love the way she is not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. She will share it. She's been a blessing and a witness to so many people, and just her bold inspiration just makes me proud to be a Christian.
Ah, that is good, good, good. And you know, passing along those kind of heirlooms is so important. Okay, I'm moving to you, Miss Daka. What's one thing that you have learned from your mom?
One of the things I've learned from my mother is the importance of how I carry myself, the importance of being a lady, and also the importance of family and how to stick together, the love, and also to always remember to keep God in everything. So those are some very important things that I've learned.
Oh, see, I'm holding on, y'all. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. And it's so beautiful that you still have your mom with you. That is amazing. Okay, Miss Laverne, Love, and Miss Angela Love. Angela, tell us something you've learned from your sweet mom.
Well, the simple version is I learned to play the piano. But because of that, I watched my mother and witnessed her use her gifts of singing and playing and be of service to the whole community and beyond. So, most definitely, we serve the Lord first, and then we
Amen.
serve the community through music. And I could say that's a gift that I just try a little bit to emulate because my mother can still bring a house down.
All right.
Ooh, yes, she
All right.
can. Yes, she can. I
But she's
was in the
humble.
house. I was in the house the other night when she brought it down. All she did was go up on one of those. Woo, child, we went in. She gave us one. Woo, and we was about to go under something because it was amazing. Okay, well now, Miss Lori, tell us one thing that you have learned from your mom.
One thing that I have learned from my mom is giving of myself tirelessly and working in community, working in our church, and just helping people in any way that they need, that I possibly can. I learned that from my mom. She has worked in the community on different levels of boards and in the church and the state and just helping others the best way that she can. And I've learned that from her. I kind of do the same thing. So just giving of herself tirelessly, and I've done the same thing. I'm doing the same thing, learning that from her.
Ah, that is amazing. Well, this time I'm going to go through and I'm going to give these ladies an opportunity to read what they wrote about these beautiful ladies because I think it's so important that you all get to hear what I was presented with and how I was able to make choice of you all for this particular broadcast. So we're going to go through and we'll start. I'll go the inverted direction this time. I think I'll start with Lori. And then after Lori, we'll go to Angela, and then to Daka, then to Trinicia, and then to Mayetta in that order. But we'll start with you, Lori, and we'll let you read your tribute to your beautiful mom, Miss Ora Williams. You ready?
Yes. My, oh my, what a lady. Not only is she a wonderful person, she's a mother, grandmother, great grandmother, a woman of God, a community leader, church worker, and a district and state church leader. I could go on giving this 93-year-old queen flowers because she is so very special to me, to our family. Born and raised in Fremont, Texas, Orly Johnson Williams was next to the youngest of 9 children. She attended college at Prairie View A&M University at age 17. She moved to Midland, Texas in 1950 and met the love of her life and soulmate, Joe L. Williams. Together, they raised 5 children, have 6 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren. My mother has reached many milestones in her life. She was the first African American to serve in the March of Dimes of Midland, participating in the Mother's March. She was also the first African American precinct chairman for the Democratic Party of Midland. She served her community as a board member for Midland Memorial Hospital Board of Directors for 11 years. Oh, Mama, you mean everything. She is a go-getter and works tirelessly in all that she does. My mother has a kind word for all that she meets and is a joy to know. I love you, Mama.
Oh, okay, no words. We moving on. We moving on. Angela, you're next.
To know my mother, Laverne Love, is to love her. She epitomizes the virtuous woman, almost to a T. Many know her because of her gift of singing. She's able to minister in song because she's singing a testimony. Whether it's her signature selections, Blessed Assurance, Through the Years, or my tribute to God Be the Glory, it becomes clear she has a relationship with her Lord and Savior. Unless due to certain circumstances we are not given the option to choose our parents, I was blessed with God-fearing, God-loving, God-showing, and God-sharing. My mother understands the concept of being a servant, and she, along with my father, taught my brother George and I, be just that. Mom has been a giver to her family and the community that she serves. And just like the talented gift she knows, she remains humble, never seeking fame. My mother, Laverne, also sings a song made popular by Mahalia Jackson, If I Can Help Somebody. This song is my mom's truth, and therefore her living shall not be in vain. Thank you for considering it and selecting her as one of your elect ladies.
Ooh, y'all, where is the tissue? I might need paper towel, not tissue, because this is just so beautiful. All the tributes. So we going on. I got to bring the next ones on. That will be Miss Daka and her mom, Miss Dorothy Jones. Here we go. Let me pull me out. There we go. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Mama, you mean everything. There will never be a dictionary large enough, nor enough words to describe the love I have for my precious you, Dorothy Jane Jones, and why you are my everything. From a small child, sitting in the kitchen watching every move you made as you prepared meals for the family, to hiding in the backseat floorboard to go to the grocery store with you, I always admired you and had long life dreams of growing up to be just like you. Her style, her grace, and most of all, the beauty of her heart towards others has always been an inspiration to me. When I think about why you're my everything, I reminisce on everyday early morning phone calls we shared and how much better I felt knowing that I heard your voice before my day started. Because you are my everything, as I grew up, I practiced daily how to dress with elegance, so I would pick out some of your beautiful blouses and sneak them to school so that I could look and feel as beautiful as you are. To see you as my mother wear fashionable clip-on earrings has always been flattering to me. So even now, I wear the same because it gives me a sense of being close to you every day. In addition to you being my everything, I admire the love you have for God and the pattern you have for God in your life as you inspire and represent yourself as a Proverbs 31 woman. To be known as your baby daughter is a great honor, as I have been able to witness many wonderful accomplishments made by you. The joys of seeing you be presented as the first African American president of the Abilene Women's Club, and to hear that once again you have received other awards, and yet you remain humble, encourages me that with God I can do all things. Your strength, endurance, and patience exceeds all and can never be replaced by any. To me, being in the presence of you as you minister the word of God gives me a spirit of pride to say that you're my mom. As I have quietly sat, I paid close attention to everything you say and you have taught, because your life lessons have meant so much, and little do you realize that your baby girl has longed to be just like you. My mother, my everything, you are my inspiration and my solid rock. I will love you now, forever, and always. Dorothy Drones, you will always and forever be my everything. I love you.
Ooh, no words, no words. I can't talk right now. I got to move on because I might really lose it. But this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay. Woo. Tranisha, you
All
got
right.
the floor.
I'm going to try very hard not to cry. But anyway, from the time she was a little girl, Shirley Walker, now Shirley Torrance, has been a force to be reckoned with, literally. This is the reason she means everything to me. You see, as a child, I learned of the many challenges my mother faced growing up as we sat at the dinner table, where she often shared lessons with us from her own childhood, i.e. being the youngest of 7 children in a blended family after the death of her birth mother at the age of 5, to the perils of becoming an unwed pregnant teenager at 16, to a 26-year-old divorcee with 3 kids, trying to be better and not bitter with her situation. My mother fought hard to make lemonade out of lemons and to get back up when life knocked her down. She sacrificed and worked 2 and 3 jobs as a cafeteria worker, a nurse's aide, a medical technician, and janitorial staff working at a cleaning company to take care of her children and to give us opportunities for education. She once gave me her entire wages and sent me off to a new job in an unfamiliar city, 800 miles from home, with love and pride. I didn't know until later in life, during one of our mother-daughter talks, that it was all she had at the time. So I'm sure you can imagine these real tears welling up in my eyes every time I think of how I got to Chicago, Illinois, from Charlotte, North Carolina, on a mother's ring and prayer of love and sacrifice. This woman was never afraid to speak her mind, so she instilled in us the confidence to think and to become leaders and not followers. Money was often tight, and many Christmases the tree was empty, but there was always love and a determination to see us reach goals that my mother was never able to achieve for herself. But one special moment in our lives was watching her determination to follow her lifelong dreams to obtain a college degree from American Intercontinental University. It was not easy for her with a full-time job, nor as an older adult student in a rapid-paced environment with online technology staring her in the face and daring her to learn how to navigate the journey and lessons for her classes. Y'all, it was ugly, but she did it. And our favorite family phrase, even to this day, is Google it. She has since retired from Carolina Medical after 46 years of dedication and spends her time serving as an usher, a member of the senior care ministry, and as Deacon Torrance for the ministry of St. Paul Baptist Church of Charlotte, North Carolina. She also keeps active by working on household projects with her husband Grady as they navigate life in a metropolis and this technologically advanced world of Facebook, online tools, and monthly family book club Zoom call meetings. I can honestly say, Mama, you mean everything to me because I'm so proud of my mom. She truly loves the Lord because you can see it in her daily living. She is my shero, and I love her so much. And I will be grateful to share this special acknowledgement with her. I love you, Mom.
Ooh, I found the tissue. I needed Jesus. Okay, no words from me. Come on, Mayetta, you're next.
A woman who is called Mom, Mama by her 4 children, Nana and Beanie by her 6 grandchildren, and Nana by her 4 great grandchildren is so special. My mother is so special to me. She is the most selfless, thoughtful, and compassionate woman that I know, who will give you the shirt off her back and the last of her resources to help. Throughout the years of child rearing, I watched her sacrifice of her time, energy, and resources for me and my 3 siblings. If we ever felt no one else had our backs, we knew our mother did. From school events to running us back and forth to college to moving in, moving out of the dorms or other housing, or just to spend time over the weekend due to being homesick, she was there. I personally have experienced graduating from high school, college, engagement, getting married, where she made all of my bridesmaids and flower girl dresses, a total of 11, by the way, and birthing my only child with my mother, and I would not trade it for the world. My first staple meal that she taught me to make was beef enchiladas, and from her encouragement, she's given me the courage that I have today to cook for my family of 3. She's cared for all of her grandchildren and great grands and continues to do so to this day. She's always there for me and my siblings to talk to and continually support us with encouragement, guidance at times, and even resources when needed. In May of 2016, our lives changed forever. My mom was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease in which it has prevented her from ever walking again. This disease has limited her in so many ways, but she's persevered. She still cooks, she cleans, she watches grandchildren and pours her wisdom and guidance into them. She completes alterations and sews and puts outfits together, attends church and church functions. She bakes to support local organizations and continues to give what she has to help other people. Her disease could have caused her to give up, but she's shown another level of perseverance. And she has shown so vividly how you can turn your test into a testimony. Sometimes when life is a mess, it doesn't have to stay that way. You can choose to turn it into a message, and that is exactly what she's done. Meet my awesome, irreplaceable, and selfless mother, Irene Coleman Higgins.
Ooh. Y'all, these women are absolutely amazing. Every single one of you is inspiring, uplifting, positive, and you make those of us that are coming along after you so proud, so proud. And that is the reason why we have made selection of you for this special honor on today. And I didn't want to do this all by myself. So I was fortunate enough to have written a song on last year that celebrated mothers. And I want to invite the young man from Sunday Best, season 3, Maurice Griffin, that interpreted that beautiful song for us. He's going to come and share some words, and then we're going to actually hear Maurice singing to us about mothers. Maurice, welcome,
Hey, everybody.
welcome, welcome.
Hey, Maurice.
All of you, all of you, all of you, all of you. Listen, all y'all gonna be my mama today. So you can whoop me, beat me, but as long as you cook for me, I can be your son any day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to share light and love on you all. I read all the messages. I just shot out a little text message to all of my world changers to tell them to come on right now so that we can love on you all together. I got about 500 of them. So whomever show up, they'll get in the hat, they'll get in the comments and love on you. But happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day from me to you. I think we have a clip of something that we're going to do for you today. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll be back.
All right. And here we go. Let's see if my technological training is working. Here we go.
Irene Higgins, Dorothy Jones, The Bird Love, Shirley Torrance, Laura Williams, Lucy Rosemary, and my mama, Lenora Griffin. Happy Mother's Day. This is for you, Mama. Thank you for always being there to show me that you care when life seems so unfair. You made it right, yeah, Mama. Thanks for always doing what you could to make sure that I was good. I've always understood how much you loved me. So let me take the time to let you know how much I appreciate you. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, and every prayer you prayed. How can I forget all you've done? It's etched forever in my heart. There's so much more that I can say. I need more than just one day to tell you. So let me take the time to let you know how much I appreciate you. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, and every prayer you prayed. I can't forget all you've done. It's etched forever in my heart. There's so much more that I can say, but God knows I need more than just one day. God knows I need to tell you, Mama, you mean so much more. You mean everything to me. To me. Love your mama.
Beautiful, beautiful. The lyrics and the singer, beautiful. The psalmist, beautiful.
Well written.
Thank you.
You're on mute.
I think you're on mute, Mama.
Sue.
Well, I need to be on mute. I was over here hollering. I was over here hollering for a minute. I had to put myself on mute because when I started hearing it, I was going, oh, oh. And I know y'all didn't want to hear that. But thank you, Maurice, for joining us. It's such a blessing to have you. And he lent his beautiful voice to this song, and it is available now, y'all, for download from all digital platforms. You can get it and celebrate your moms and enjoy Mother's Day with them. Go ahead and get it and download it today. And you can play it for your mothers because it really expresses the sentiments of my heart to celebrate these champions who have nurtured us and loved us. Maurice, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here with all of you. I wish my mom was on here. She'll probably come back and watch it later. But you guys are a light to the world. Never forget that. And know that we're leaning on you and we love you, all of us, the whole world. Mwah.
Ah, well, thank you, Maurice. We're going to segue from this to hearing from our very special guest today,
Awesome.
Mr. Shawn
Sean
Bigby.
Bigby.
He is in the house, and I'm going to let these ladies go about their day, but I'm going to give us a little bit of a little commercial. And when we get through with that, we'll be right back with Mr. Shawn Bigby. Through Dimple's eyes, custom photography, creating memories one click at a time for all your special occasions. Phone 432-203-6248 or email at tdzsmile19@gmail.com. And be sure and let them know Mama Sue sent you. Indeed, indeed. So let me tell you, my guest today is somebody so special. Oh, y'all, I can't even hardly believe that he rolling with the likes of me, okay? Because he is all up here. He has done so many awesome and amazing things, and I have learned so much from him. He's a worship leader. He is a man of God because he can rightly divide the word of truth and give you a word in due season. He is a songwriter. He's an awesome singer. He has written songs for some of everybody and people. He's known all the world over for all of the wonderful music that he has created. And now he's an author. He has written a book. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And he's also a father. So, would you all join me in welcoming to Moments with Mama Sue the incomparable Mr. Shawn Bigby? Hey,
Hey. How you doing, Mama Sue?
I'm doing good.
Good to be with you
What's the
tonight.
weather like in your neck of the woods?
Listen, so Columbia has schizophrenic weather. I mean, it'll be cold in the evening and then blazing hot during the middle of the day. So right now it's like a nice little 72, 71, somewhere around up in there. Tonight it may get cold. Tomorrow it may be 80. So you just got to roll with the punches. Got to roll
Well,
with it.
we'll take a roll with it. We'll take a roll with it. But listen, you have done so much in your career. How in the world did you get started in the music industry? Or let's start with how did you even know you could sing?
So, funny story. So, I grew up, I'm a good old Baptist boy. And so I grew up in the Baptist church, and in the Baptist church where I came from, you only had two jobs as a young person in the church that you were going to be able to do. You're either going to sing on the choir, or you're going to be a part of the ushers. I knew very early on I wasn't standing up all church service, so I just knew that. And so I joined the choir. And there was a young lady, well, an older lady. She's going on to be with the Lord now. Her name was Ruby Nell McCowan. Ruby Nell McCowan was one of those what I called mercenary ministers of music. She would kind of go and help choirs out during their choir anniversaries, especially a church that may not have necessarily had a minister of music or a musician to play. She would come and play and help out. And so this particular year, I don't know what it was that she heard, what it was that she saw in me, but she pulled me aside and had me to sing a little harmony part and sing a little lead. And that's kind of what got me started with leading songs and stuff at my church, Salem Missionary Baptist Church, when I was a kid. And that was kind of the impetus for me having or understanding that I had a little bit of musical ability. And so that was it for me. And I fell in love. I tell people all the time, I fell in love with church before I ever fell in love with God. I loved church. I loved the charisma. I loved the people praising God, the shouting, the just all of that, the music, all of that just appealed to me before I ever had a relationship with God, before I ever had a relationship with music, all of that kind of stuff. I loved church. And so that was kind of my start.
Ah, so you were a church boy,
Oh, yeah.
admittedly.
All day. Church boy all day. I was so churchy. Let me tell you something. I was so much of a church boy that when I got to high school and when I would go to certain parties and dances and stuff, literally people put stuff away because the church boy was coming in. And I wasn't there to try to be saved, sanctified, and holy. I was there to try to participate in foolishness, but they would put stuff away because they had a respect and a reverence for who they saw me to be, even when I didn't necessarily have one. So it was kind of interesting. And I really praise God for that. But the Bible talks about how God has redeemed our life from destruction. And I believe that was one of those moments where he didn't even allow me to get into certain spaces. I really believe had I gotten turned on to certain things at an early age, that they probably would have destroyed me. I don't think I could have handled some of the testimonies that some people that I know have. So, so it was God's way of kind of keeping me protected and keeping me shielded.
Wow. Well, you could sing always, couldn't you?
Music runs in my family. Yes, music runs in my family.
Okay.
I got a granddaddy. I got a granddaddy who sings quartet music, but he's a soloist. I ain't figured that out yet. I'm like, granddaddy, all you do is quartet music, but you don't have no group. It's just you by yourself. I never understood this. I've never understood it. Yep.
Well, he getting the job done.
He getting the job done. Yeah. He done sang at everybody's funeral. He love it when people die. I'm wrong for that. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud.
You're so wrong for that, Shawn Bigby. Well, now you've always known you could sing, but when did you discover that you had writing talent, that your pen was powerful?
So the first song that I ever wrote, I was in love with this girl, and I wrote her a little song. I still remember the song. It's called "Please Give Me a Chance." The very first song that I ever wrote. And when I was coming along through high school, my dad had bought me a little digital recorder. I thought it was for college, to kind of record notes and stuff like that. But he would always say, you need to learn how to write songs. You want to sing and stuff, but you need to learn how to write songs. And my dad is not musically inclined. He don't know nothing about music ministry, anything of that nature. So I took it with a grain of salt. And I said, I'll pay somebody to write my music, whatever. I didn't understand that the money is in the writing, but we give God praise, hallelujah. And so I wrote this little song, and I put it in my little digital recorder. And that was my first time, actually writing a song. And I started to fall in love with it. The process of creation, the process of creating a song from scratch and from the ground up and just building it out. I really just began to fall in love with it. And the more that I grew in my relationship with God, the more I would hear him, especially in worship. I really feel like I'm the most creative in worship. I hear songs, I hear melodies and various things that happen while we're in worship. And so I began the more I grew in relationship with God, the more I would hear music and the more I would hear songs and things of that nature. And so I tell people all the time that, when I'm in worship, I can hear all kind of stuff. And, we as worshipers, we can be kind of look crazy, look whatever, but it is what it is. But I definitely hear melodies and music all over my head while I'm worshiping.
Now that is a true psalmist. Mm-hmm. Have you ever created ministry music on the spot?
Yes.
That you heard?
So, so there's a song called "Never Go a Day." Bishop Jason Nelson recorded it. It was on his The Answer album. That song literally started in praise and worship. I was in praise and worship. I was leading worship at a church, and New Life Fellowship Church in Charlotte, North Carolina, and literally just kind of got into this flow and got into this vein, and the lyrics just kept coming. The lyrics just kept coming. They kept coming. They kept coming. And I keep my phone with me at all times. If you have ever seen me lead worship, I have my phone out because I never know when God is going to sing over me. when there's going to be a melody or something released. And so I'll grab my phone and I'll go to my voice memos. And if I were to go to my voice memos right now, I could scroll, and you would have all kinds of voice memos and see all of that stuff. So literally that song happened in that moment. And like anything else, Mama Sue, and you know this because you're a phenomenal songwriter as well, the more practice you get, the more comfortable you get with it. And so now it's like where it used to be kind of clunky and kind of finding my way. Now I kind of know the various veins and the various places that I can kind of move and maneuver during the session or during worship or whatever, and just kind of write as I go. And some songs are great. Some songs are great for that moment, and you'll never hear it again. So and it's cool. It's just you just work that muscle. Songwriting is like a muscle, so you just work that muscle out.
Well, how did you get connected with John P. Key? How did that happen?
So there's a mantra that I live by. I heard Israel Houghton say this several years ago, and I stole it and I live by it. Life moves at the speed of relationships. There's nothing that I've ever done that's been so dope or so amazing because I'm so dope and amazing. It's always been because I have a relationship with somebody that opens the door. And literally me getting to New Life, me being the worship leader there for 5.5 years started because I had a relationship with Miranda. Miranda Curtis was the worship leader there for years prior to me. And Miranda was getting married and moving to Atlanta, Georgia. And so she had me to come and lead worship at her live recording. What I didn't know is she was already setting me up to be heard by Pastor Key. And so when I got up to lead worship, I go back to my seat and I'm sitting in service, sitting in the recording, and people start texting me and were like, "Hey, are you in Charlotte?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm up in Charlotte. What's going on?" They were like, "John P. Key is on Twitter just talking about you, like asking where you from, asking who you are, all of this kind of stuff." And that was the beginning of that relationship. And so that was that door that kind of got me there. He asked me to come back and lead worship on a Sunday. Then after I led worship that Sunday, he asked me to come back again for another Sunday. And essentially he asked me to come back for 5.5 years.
Wow. That's amazing. And you have just gone on from doing that. There's a passage of scripture that I quote and live by all the time. And it says that if you are faithful over a few things, just a few things, that God would make you ruler over many. So you don't even have to worry about doing all the things or being a big wonder. Just concentrate on the few things, and those will cause doors to open and opportunities to come your way. Have you found that to be true, Shawn?
So many people think that once I get there, then that's when everything will pop off for me, but they don't realize that it's the little bitty things. It's going to rehearsal on time. It's being a person of integrity and being a person of your word, doing exactly what you said you're going to do. It's executing and being skillful. All of that stuff factors in to whatever it is that we're doing, and those things set you up for your name to be called in various other rooms when other people are not necessarily talking about other folks. I praise God. One of the things that I'm so grateful for is that the place where I serve now, Right Direction Church International, my Bishop Herbert Bailey, Dr. Marsha Bailey. The one thing that I love about the testimony of me getting here, they had no clue of who I was, had never heard me. They were not fans of mine. They were not people that were looking for me or anything of that nature. And so when our paths crossed, for us to consider covenant together and partnering together in ministry, and they hired me to be the creative arts director, it was all based on relationships that they had with other people that I also have relationship with, that those people were able to say, no, Shawn is a good one. Shawn, if he says it, he's going to do it. And they were able to speak to my character, not my gift, not my talent, but they were able to speak to my character, my faithfulness, my ability to serve, all of those types of things. And I think if other people who desire to have various platforms and stages would ever grab a hold to that, then I promise you they could go much further and they could do much better.
Well, you are kind of like a a big, wonderful asset to ministry all wrapped up in one, because you got this word and you've got this music and you've got this creative writing, and now you've even added to that being an author. Y'all, look what I got. This is Shawn's book.
My
It is the beautiful blue book, The Platform On and Off, a blueprint for worship facilitators. Now, I would have changed this. I wouldn't have put a blueprint for worship, period. Not just for the facilitators, but sometimes the preachers need this,
right.
the musicians, everybody that's involved in the worship experience needs this book. How did this happen, Shawn? Where did this come from?
So, during the pandemic, one of the things I've known probably for a couple of years that I wanted to write a book. Just didn't necessarily know how to do it. I had no clue. The book game is much different than the songwriting and the music game, and so I had no clue how to get into it. Didn't know too many authors, anything of that nature. And again, there was a relationship. My best friend Alpheus Anderson had written a couple of books. And that he released with a young lady that we've known for years. And so I said, man, let me go and let me, connect with them. And she literally, as we were having conversations, she said, Shawn, you teach workshops and stuff. What do you do with your teachings? And I said, well, I have all my teachings and stuff, kind of laid out. And she was like, you probably already have a book. You just got to put all of that into book form. And so that's what it is. I've compiled my 20 plus years of facilitating worship and being a worship leader. I've compiled all of that into this book, my experiences. And it's a very pragmatic book, but also spiritual at the same time. And each chapter ends with what I call mapping the blueprint, where I allow you to introspectively think, how does this impact me? How can I apply these stories? How can I apply these principles, these thoughts to what we do and how we do it at our ministry and our church? Because one of the things I really wholeheartedly believe in is empowering the local church. I believe in that. So many times I think we have a lot of, especially the younger generation. Let me just say the younger generation. I'm 41 years old. So there's generations after me who see the platforms and who see the travel and all of this kind of stuff, and they want to do that instead of being happy and being content with serving in their local church. Now, if God's hand is on them and that all of that stuff ends up happening, wonderful and cool. But I think they see the glitz and the glamour, if you would, and aspire to do those types of things. And so I wanted to leave a tool and give a tool to those who are in local church ministry. Here's how to help your church ministry to be more effective. Plus, I thought it was needful that we put more of our urban voices. Urban is keyword for Black people. Put more of our urban voices into the marketplace and into that space of worship, because a lot of times those books are kind of one-sided, and I wanted it to be from a good old country boy from LA. That's not Los Angeles, that's Lower Anderson, and just kind of allow me to offer some words of wisdom in that space, if you would.
Ah, this is some good stuff, y'all. And if you haven't gotten the book already, I hope by the time this is over, he have like at least 100 orders. The table of contents, if I'm just going to call off some of the chapters. Can I get to know you a little bit more? Worship, what it is and what it ain't. How do you practice the presence of God? Bless the Lord with me, please. Create a place where God feels comfortable. Talk about that just a little bit. That one right there.
So the impetus for that one is the scripture says that God inhabits the praises of his people. He lives and he dwells in the praises of his people. Praises of Israel is what it actually says. And so I was reading that out of the Message translation. The Message translation says something to the effect of, God, are you indifferent above because you are above it all, in leaning back on the cushions of Israel's praise? And I said, and it gave me this picture of, man, the cushions of Israel's praise. Like if when I worship God, then I equate that to I'm giving God a space to occupy, or a space to sit, a space to be. And so the question I was posing is how to make God feel comfortable. I'm a big dude, been big my whole life. I'm a big brother. And one of the things that I know is every chair ain't comfortable for me. There are certain chairs that when I come into certain rooms and I look at them, I know it's going to be a long night. If I got to sit in that chair, it's just going to be a long night. You're going to have to prop yourself up, hold one leg back behind you, all of this kind of stuff. Sometimes I feel like I need to just ride around in a scooter or something. You just never know. I'm clowning. But you know, and so I said to myself, I said, okay, how do I make God feel comfortable? What do I need to have in the atmosphere? What do I need to have? What do I need to bring to the table that allows God to feel comfortable? And so that's kind of what that chapter is about. What is it that we need to bring? We need to bring faith. We need to have expectation when we worship. We need to, you know, there's so many different aspects. We need to be holy when we come into the presence of God. You know,
say that again. Wait a minute. Say that part again. That you need to be holy. Holy.
When we come into the presence of God. Now, that's not saying that he won't move in those spaces and in those atmospheres where there is no quote unquote holiness, however you define it or whatever, but there ought to be a reverence and an honor for him, so much so to say, I won't dare come into his presence without making sure that my life is clean, that I have not cleaned myself, that I have not done all that I can do to try to live a life that is pleasing to him. Those things make him more comfortable. Those things are more inviting for him.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. And then after that, he got a chapter in here that says, in with the old, in with the new, the importance of ministering to multiple generations. And that right there is the money chapter, because, you know, our churches are not just either or, not just for the old saints, not just for the millennials, but we have kind of split them down the middle. And there are worship leaders who only cater to one segment or one demographic of the church population. Talk about that just a little bit, Shawn, because that's important.
I am a product of and I talk about it in that chapter. My great grandmother is one of the reasons why I'm saved. She took it upon herself to bring us to Bible study. She took it upon herself to bring us to vacation Bible school, all of that good type of stuff. She was very adamant about our family attending church. And so, again, like I said, I fell in love with church before I fell in love with God. And so fast forward now I'm leading worship, and we have a very large ministry, and I lead worship. And on any given Sunday, I'm looking out and I see great-grandmothers, I see grandmothers, I see the mama, and I see the children. All of them are in the church. All are in the same church. And we have services for them. And I do some generation of the service if I'm only thinking about one generation. I do one generation or some generations of the service if I'm only thinking about my generation. And so one of the things I talk about is worship can't be about my preferences. So it can't be about the style of music that I like. It can't be about what I like to present. If I'm going to minister and be effective to all the generations that we have and serve them all equally, then just like I'm singing hymns, I got to go and grab some stuff for those. I don't want to just talk about millennials because we got a whole 2 generations that are after them, the Gen X, Gen Y, Gen somebody. There's generations that are coming after them. And I know that when I turn 80 and I'm worshiping in church, I'm going to want whoever's leading worship to remember me, to remember the stuff that I connected with musically and that I connected with in the spirit. So I'm going to want to continue to be served even once my time of serving has gone on and gone to pass. So it's all about making sure to remember, it can be in with the old and in with the new. You can serve. You can serve all of the generations. You can have all of it. And one thing I preach and teach and scream, and I'll continue to scream it to the day I die. Each generation will learn to respect each other when we respect each other. If I present something that is from generations before me, and I keep that at the forefront, and I keep that as a part of what we do as far as our worship is concerned, as well as continue to do what our generation does and the generations behind me, then there's always a level of mutual respect. There's always, the Bible says, each generation shall praise thy works one to another. Each generation. And so when I get that thought is, I know how good God has been to me, but my son ought to know how good God is going to be to him. And my mom and dad should know, and my grandparents, they should know. And so we're all talking about the same God and how good God has been, how faithful he's been. Each generation praising his works one to another. Even though it may be in a different package, we're still doing the same type of praise. We're still praising the same God.
Ooh, I wish you could see all the comments that's rolling through
Oh,
Shawn Bigby
I,
because they hollering, that's good,
I
that's
see a few.
good,
I
that's
got some friends
good.
on here. I got some friends,
Mhm.
Christopher Buckner and Rebecca Brumfield. I got a few friends in the room, so they're talking, and I praise God for them. They're such wonderful people that I just love dearly.
Yeah, Pastor Marilyn is saying, use him, Lord. Use him. Use him. But listen, the other chapters that you have in the book are I love when a plan comes together. Let's get to the heart of it. One facilitator to another. And then, of course, there's his biography. But listen, I want you all, if you are a first time viewer of Moments with Mama Sue, this is your very first time watching, go ahead and make note of that in the comments section. And when this is all over, I will go through and collect all of those names and I will put them in a little drawing and I will draw out one and make contact with you and give you this copy of The Platform On and Off by Shawn Bigby. And I promise you, it's going to bless you. Debbie is saying, that's my son.
That's my mama. That
See
is
there?
my mama. I didn't know mama was gonna be on. Hey mama, I love you, and I just appreciate you so very much. Yes, that
Well,
is
it's
my
a
mama.
Mother's Day show, so I was getting ready to go there because I stalk you on Facebook. So I don't always comment, but I'm always looking to see what's going on. So Shawn, you have not only your mother but your grandmother. Tell us about your sweet grandmother because I saw you take a picture with her the other day. Tell us some about her.
So I have my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother. My great grandmother turned 102 at the beginning of April. April the 10th is her birthday. My mom's birthday is April the 18th. And so, God has just been so good to us. The fact that, and the picture you're talking about is the picture that I took with my son and my great grandmother, 5 generations being represented. Now, my son is actually not the first 5th generation member of our family. I've got an older nephew who was the very first. And so we've got literally, my great grandmother has 3 great grandkids. And it's just amazing the fact that she's still with us. And she's just such a sweetheart. My granny spoiled me. My granny spoiled me. Let me say it again. Granny spoiled me. Great. So we stayed in the country. My mom, dad, and myself and my brother, we stayed out in the country. And out there where we stayed, they didn't have cable when we were growing up. So we got a satellite dish on later on, once we got older. So when we went to Granny's house, Granny had cable. And Granny let us stay up late. Granny let us watch whatever we wanted to watch. Granny would wake up early in the morning and make full-on breakfast. I mean, Granny was and so when mom and dad, my dad swung shifts, my mom worked. And so she would oftentimes, especially during the summer, would take us to Granny's house, and Granny would keep us all day long. And so, yeah, it was a blessing. When I tell you, Granny spoiled us. And so it's just a blessing to be able, when I go home, I'm able to go and see her and spend that time with her because she's just a jewel to me, and I love her dearly.
Well, you also have another wonderful mother to celebrate this year that wasn't around. She was around last year, but she wasn't a mother last year.
This
So
is
talk a little bit about that new mom that
so
that you are
this
so well
is
acquainted with.
this is the first year that I get to celebrate my wife on Mother's Day. And so I'm very, 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 very excited about it. Sheridan, love you, dude. They're very, very excited about it. My wife is so even keel. She's low key, but literally I've seen a transformation in her since we've had our son. My son is, he'll be 5 months this week. And I've told my friends and all of this kind of stuff that literally I've been just on the sidelines, just like, you just tell me what to do. I've seen her adapt to motherhood like it's nobody's business. From feedings to just knowing what to do and how to do it and all of this kind of stuff. It's been an amazing thing to watch. And so she is worthy of double and triple honor. And so if she wants to go, my wife is so interesting. She finds one thing that she likes and she'll just keep doing that for a little bit of time. So she's been on this Cracker Barrel kick. So I'm sure on Mother's Day, we're gonna probably end up at Cracker Barrel, and it is what it is. And so that's what my baby wants, and that's what she's gonna get. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely honor her, and I'm very excited about it because, like I said, she's given me the greatest blessing in my son, and she's just a wonderful wife and just a wonderful partner in life, partner to be doing life with. And so I'm so grateful to God for blessing my life with her.
This is just such good stuff. I'm going to pause for a second and then I'm coming back with the closing remarks from our special guest tonight. And we're going to have the last word from Shawn Bigby. Hold tight.
So let me take the time to let you know how much I appreciate you. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, and every prayer you pray. I can't forget all you've done. It's etched forever in my heart. There's so much that I could say.
Yes, indeed. If you're joining us for the first time, that is the Mama You Mean Everything song that we have based this whole episode around just to celebrate mothers, those women who nurture us and have cared for us throughout our lives. If you are blessed to have a mother figure in your life, then I want to encourage you to celebrate with her on this weekend. We actually need more than just one day because they're so special and they do so many wonderful things in our lives. But if you're blessed to have your mother, maybe it's not your biological mother, maybe it's the woman who has nurtured you in lieu of your mother being alive. But whoever that person is, love on them, celebrate them, and make them feel extra special this weekend because of all the wonderful things that they do. My guest today is the inimitable Mr. Shawn Bigby. This worship leader has blessed us today with some awesome nuggets, and I can't even wait to go back and look at the replay so I can see everything I missed. Shawn, what is one thing that you have gleaned from your mother? And then when you get through with that, give us a parting word of wisdom, and then we'll be ready to wrap up.
Well, let me see here. One thing that I've gleaned from my mother, I'll say this. I'm grateful to God. One thing that most people don't know, my mom and I got saved around about the same time. It was a revival back in 1986, I believe, 85, 86, somewhere around up in there. So we both came to Jesus at the same time. And I saw my mother serve God faithfully. My mother she was all part of the choir. Now, my mom is not like a solo singer or anything of that nature. But I saw my mom serve on the choir. I saw my mom serve as part of the missionary society or circle and all of that kind of stuff. And so just seeing her life, seeing how she valued church, seeing how she made, even though she went to work during the day, if we had revival, she was going to come home, cook a little dinner, change clothes and get ready and go back out to church. And so just watching her serve, I'm grateful that I had that kind of example in the house to be able to learn and watch. And so now that I'm older and now that I can appreciate it and now that I do what I do, I serve full time in ministry, I know that that's because of seeds that my mom planted. And so I really believe that I gleaned a lot of that from her, just watching her serve. My mom brought me to choir practices on Saturdays. So I started singing with the young adult choir just because I would be at all day rehearsals. I'm 13 years old, 12 years old, singing with these young adults. And I talk about that in the book. But so I really believe that that's one of the things that I gleaned from my mother, just that love and that desire to serve and be faithful to the local church. And so in parting, Mama Sue, I want to say this to you first off. You are a jewel. I need you to come back on the camera. Yeah, I'm directing you just for a few moments. Mama, so you are a jewel. And I'm so grateful. Again, I tell you, life moves at the speed of relationships. I believe that God shows us how much we are loved by Him, by who He allows us to be in relationship with. And so my life is so much better because I know you, because we have fellowship, we have communication, we talk. Just hearing your voice is one of the most calming things, is one of the most soothing things. Mama Sue is the correct name for you. It's just, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't know how many natural kids you actually have, but I know you have a million spiritual kids because we love you and just esteem you greatly. So thank you so very much for this time. If I had a million hot pockets, I would just send them. I don't even know if you like hot pockets, but if I had a million of them, I would send them your way. I don't even know if you want hot pockets. If you got a favorite flavor hot pocket, let me know. I'm buying them. I'm buying some hot pockets just for you. But I just appreciate you so very much. Your heart, your candor, your love for everybody, just everybody. And not to mention your gifting and your talent, just to see you excel and do all that you do. And so I speak a blessing over you, and I declare that this year is going to be one of the most amazing years of your life, that you will not want for anything financially, that you won't want for anything in your life, that God will continue to do exceeding and abundantly above all you could ever ask or think, and that He's sending you help. I pray that God will send you the help that you need in every area, so that things will continue to be sweatless, and that you'll continue to do all the great things that you have in your heart to do, whether that's music, whether that's new books, whatever it is that you have in your heart to do. I pray that God will send you the people that are going to help you to get it accomplished and get it done. Every dream, every vision, everything that you have in you to do, let it be so. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, I receive that. And for everybody that is watching today, I want you to make sure that you all go and follow this worship leader. Follow the leader. Please follow him because he has such amazing ministry tools for us. Not just the book, but he's also got music that's out there. Go to Shawn Bigby and put in his name. You can find him out there on Apple, iTunes, all digital platforms. He's there. We need you to follow him. And then we also need you to get the book. Get the book. You can go to his website. And I'm trying to let me get over here so I can get this little comment off the screen so we can see the website. It's ShawnBigby.com. Okay, so go to www.shawnbigby.com. You can follow Shawn on all of these digital platforms. He's on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just put in Shawn Bigby. Just Google him. Somebody said earlier about Googling. Just Google Shawn Bigby and follow the leader. I love this particular thing that I saw on this platform. And so I snatched it and said, I'll just put it up there for everybody to be able to follow the leader too. Because when someone is doing something awesome and amazing, when you participate and follow them, it will be a blessing to your life as well. So we want everybody now to follow Shawn Bigby. And when you send him your orders and stuff, tell him Mama Sue sent you. Tell him I said, go over there and get the book. Mama Sue sent me over here to get this music. Whatever it is, let's participate to the full level that we can. And for all of you all that are following me, I want you to know I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you taking the time and making the time to be with me on Moments with Mama Sue. And I want you to know that I appreciate what you're contributing to. Some of you have been supporting, and I appreciate that too. If you like what I'm doing and want to help, there's my Cash App. I'm using what you give me to upgrade what I'm trying to do. I'm even going to post a video behind the scenes showing you my equipment and all the little stuff that I'm acquiring because of your gifts to help me to do more and to do better. If Cash App ain't your thing and Venmo gives you a warm fuzzy, There it is, the Venmo link. And then if you don't like either one of those because you old school like me and you still want to write a check, then you can send it through snail mail to P.O. Box 51422, Midland, Texas 79710. We want you to be sure to download and stream everything that we've talked about today. And just know that I love you so very much and I appreciate you. I want you to tune in for the next Moments with Mama Sue that's going to be coming up on the third Monday of the month. You can go back to this and see it in replay on my Facebook page or the YouTube page and see all the stuff that went on that we might have missed otherwise, okay? But just know that I love you and I will be looking forward to seeing you on the next Moments with Mama Sue. Bye-bye. Woo! Now that's what I call a great show. Woo! We out of here. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Now we can do it a little better than that. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Well, all right, come on with it. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Yeah! Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Wait. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Moments with Mama Sue. Never know what to expect. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Yeah! Moments with Mama Sue. Can't you? Moments with Mama Sue. Moments! Well, now we might be done a little bit too much. Sing it.